as Peter said, I'm going to continue talking about the breeder seed, but from the perspective of NRCRI. NRCRI holds a national mandate for genetic improvement of root and tuber crops, including cassava. And so the varieties that have been released in the past 50 years, about nearly 50 of them have been released between IITA and NRCRI. And one important thing is that these varieties are released and there's no momentum to move them on to the farmers. And that's been the biggest challenge, because you go ahead and say, what impact are these new varieties having on production? Are farmers adopting them? Then the question comes, did the farmers actually lay hold on those varieties? They've not been having access to the varieties. And so we thought that aside from the popular varieties that we know farmers have been asking, like TME 419, like 980581, and 980505, that we could have a series of trials or demonstration plots that will help us, kind of market these new varieties that they have not even seen or grown. And so that lays credence to why we have our demonstration plots, our demand creation trials, to show the farmers, look, compare this with what you have been growing and you consider as the best. Consider, for example, CR36-5 with TME 419. They really can compete. So, but we want to bring this on. So right at Umudike, in the past year, we were able to have more than a hectare breeder seed production, and at Otobi, 5 hectares. It's important because NRCRI has several outstations where these seeds can be produced in accordance or in compliance to the regulations set by the National Agricultural Seed Council. So in addition to that, NRCRI has what you call NRCRI Consult Limited. It's a multi-purpose company, but is also a company that is involved in seed production, is beginning to request for registration as a seed producer. And so NRCRI produces basic or foundation seed, as you may know it. So in the past year, we produced nearly 6 hectares of foundation seed for the project, and this we know can give us more than 2,000 bundles of cassava. And we're also working to feed the CRS, the Catholic Relief Services in Benue State, of supplying their farmers at a reasonable fee foundation seed for their village seed entrepreneurs. Now, the third thing that NRCRI is involved in this project is another set of village seed entrepreneurs that is different from the one that the CRS just mentioned a while ago. Here, the focus is on the South-South and the Southeast area, the states. And you can see with me that in the Southeast, Abia and Imo, we are selected with 10 farmers or 10 village seed entrepreneurs, and in Akwa Ibom and Cross River, the same number, 10 for a start. And you can see the distribution of, okay, it's not very clear, of male and female. So if you look at the, sorry. If you look at the chart, I'm not sure it's very clear, but you see the distribution between male and female. That's a good representation of female village seed entrepreneurs, because we know that cassava is produced both by male and female and for different purposes. So we wanted to make sure that we did not leave any group behind as we do this. So Emmanuel has already mentioned the reason for these village seed entrepreneurs. So what we are doing is to train them, and we've conducted trainings in the past year at NRCRI. The database collected on their production and their sales. We checked that they also keep records, some kind of business sense that they have while we are trying to help them develop. We had to get people who knew how to make business from this, from different areas, consultants to participate in the trainings that we conducted last year. So we also visit their farms to do a kind of M&E of the farms of the farmers. These two farmers, Chief Obisike and Prince Ekanem. They are here in the room, and we are glad to work with this set of village seed entrepreneurs as an example. Can they rise up? Chief Obisike, and thank you very much for your partnership. So I don't want to be more, okay, sorry. So that's the thing we've been able to do for NRCRI. We're also involved in the quality component. We have a research assistant that's been trained in UK. In the next talk, you'll hear more about that, trying to raise capacity for detection of diseases and pests in the field so that we will support the farmers to maintain their farms and ensure that they comply with what is needed. Thank you.